one of the things that I like to do is I have a halal money decision framework. And before I make any real big money move, these are the topics of conversation that I typically think about. And number one, what is the underlying activity? Is the product or service itself permissible? Like, let's say, for example, I'm selling beef burgers. Inherently nothing haram with it at all. It's all totally halal, assuming that I am selling halal meat. But if I'm selling haram beef patties, then that becomes problematic for the Muslim, right? Because there's a very famous saying from the Prophet ﷺ in hadith that if a man's clothing is haram, his eating is haram, his everything is haram, how do you expect Allah to answer your du'as? So this is the key thing here, right? You want to make sure that everything that you do is permissible, and anything that you're not doing permissible today, let's take a look at it. Let's try to find you an alternative where you can actually go into more permissible paths of generating income, which then turn around your life. And then the second thing here in this particular question of what is the underlying activity is your revenue tied to real value delivered, right? If that is the case, then I think you're pretty good in general. Now, the second question that comes into mind is, how does the money actually grow? Is it through trade? Is it through sale? Is it through service? Is it through ownership? Is it through partnership, or even renting somebody else's asset? Or is it through interest on money or through guaranteed returns? Remember, in Islam, we are told very, very strictly that we cannot guarantee a return on anything. There must be an element of profit and loss. The third question would be, are the terms clear and fair? This is coming back to my gharar point earlier. Is it a clear price? Is it a clear scope? Are there clear risks? Are there a clear timeline? Or is there a clear timeline? Are there any penalties that turn hardship into profit? So a good example of this would be like if you're late on a credit card payment, they'll maybe forgive the interest, but they'll actually tack on a late fee, and that is totally haram. But we live in a society in the West, more specifically, where these are things that actually are inherently against Islam. Now, the final question that I come to is, what do reputable scholars and standards generally say? Now, regardless of which madhab you follow, you should try to follow one. And the main reason is because the way the Hanafis handle a specific issue is different from how the Hanbalis do it versus the Malikis versus the Shafi'is. They have different ways of handling different scenarios. What my purpose here is to provide you something that covers all four madhabs. Although keep in mind that I am not a scholar. I have studied it, but I am not a scholar. I would generally ask you, go to a scholar that you trust, that you understand, that will willingly explain to you the differences between the difference of opinions of the scholars. Now, my goal, like I mentioned before again, is try to be as uniform as possible. Where I see uniformity and agreement across all four, that is what I'm going to talk about more so. If you have any specific issues, put it down in the comments section down below, or shoot us an email, or leave us a comment on any of the platforms that we have, and we'll try to get back to you.